G'day. Well, there's more drama going on at Red Bull. More from the Jeddah circuit in just a second. Let me go back to last night. I was out in the paddock photographing and one of my colleagues says, "You better get a shot of Helmut Marko, he's leaving." And I said, "I got some shots in the morning." "No, haven't you heard?" "No." Well, apparently Helmut gave an interview with ORF, the Austrian broadcaster, but before they started, he provided them with a whole host of questions that they should ask. Those questions surrounded his potential suspension from the Red Bull team. Red Bull management believe that Helmut has been leaking information. As such, they're holding an investigation next week, and they've told Helmut he can't talk to the media. As you may know, Jos Verstappen is not here at this race. He's doing a rally, and there has been some talk that he's been told not to come to Australia. I can't tell you if that's true or not, but it appears that there's an Austrian side up against the British side. Hang on a second, I've just been told that Jos Verstappen will be in Melbourne. I wonder what that will mean. Will it kick off there? So where's this likely to end? Well, nobody quite knows. Today we've had a whole load of Red Bull power players in attendance. I'm talking the head of brands, this gentleman here. I'm talking the CEO of Red Bull GmbH, Oliver Mintzlaff, and Helmut Marko actually arrived with Oliver this morning. At about 6 p.m, Jerry Horner rolled up. Of course, she was in Bahrain last week and did that well-rehearsed walk in with her husband, but this weekend she came in on her own, but she did stop for a few seconds on the hospitality deck before going inside. One journalist asked Oliver Mintzlaff on the way in whether he thought all this drama had had a damaging effect on the Red Bull brands. He simply said, "I'm not giving any answers to questions today." The general consensus is that he's here to sort out the mess. It was mentioned that if Christian left, Oliver might be the man to take up the running at the head of Red Bull Racing. He's run football clubs in the past and has a very solid business background. Where will this end? Nobody quite knows. I'm recording this too prior to the race, so I'll do an update after the race and maybe some news has broken. In fact, as I was coming over here to record this, Oliver did leave the track, so I figure he's done his work and is heading off, and he was aided by the arrival of this man, Carlos Sainz. I overheard his manager say that he'd be coming in shortly, and true to his word, he arrived looking still perhaps groggy maybe, affected. You could see here he's still got the tag from the hospital around his wrist, and he has a plaster on his left arm. Well, it's just come out that Helmut indeed will not be suspended after he met with Oliver Mintzlaff, who actually returned to the track after I saw him leave. But is that the end of it? It's hard to tell. Maybe there are more stings still in this tale. I've just had a chat with Liam Lawson about what Ollie Behrman might have been going through yesterday, and he said that definitely he would be a little bit more relaxed today. Yesterday would have been full on for him, and interestingly, Liam and Oliver share the same performance coach, Enzo Mucci, who you might think is Italian but is actually British. So Enzo's had two drivers in Formula One. Liam also said he was watching the onboards of Ollie in the car, and he could see that, yes, his neck was struggling a little bit because he could see it up against the side rest. And have the pair spoken yet? Because they have much in common. Not yet, he said. Not this weekend, anyway. Just had a chat with Oliver Behrman's father, David, and he said his son is in good spirits, excited about today's race, as you can well imagine. And is he staying in the same five-star accommodation that the other Ferrari drivers are in? No. He's staying in F2 style accommodation, which is more Premier Inn rather than Ritz-Carlton. But I don't think that'll bother him too much. And certainly with the situation with Carlos Sainz not guaranteeing to start in Melbourne, he'll be heading to Melbourne with perhaps his second chance of driving in an F1 race. Another man in the firing line is the head of the FIA, Mohammed Ben Salam. He has been accused of tampering with the result of last year's Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, where from my understanding is a mechanic touched the car when he wasn't allowed to touch the car. They incurred a penalty, Fernando lost his third place, Mohammed got involved, the penalty was scrapped, and Fernando got his third place back. Have we ever had such a start to the year? I look back now and I see that the big news of Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari is now completely forgotten. There's a new drama every week, sometimes every day, in Formula One. I photographed Anthony Joshua on the grid. He stands head and shoulders above everybody else. And he had a fight today in Saudi Arabia that was attended by this man, Jose Mourinho. And did he win? I believe he did. I haven't got a picture of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but he's definitely here. And the other day we had this young fella, 21-year-old Hezbollah. He's Russian, I think. He's got 8 million followers on social media and is quite a character. However, interesting thing here is if you're a female and you want your photo taken with him, it will not happen. His religion demands that he not be photographed with women. And his height, 102 centimetres. Let's get on to Ollie Bearman now, and what a stunning result that was. From 11th to 7th, he beat a 7-time world champion, and he's just a teenager. So Ferrari were, as you can imagine, over the moon. He was doing so many interviews after the event tonight. He was being pushed and pulled in every single direction, and you couldn't wipe that smile off his face. Did you see the fireworks at the end of the race? They were impressive, and even a drone show. No doubt that cost them plenty, but boy, it looked spectacular. Jerry and Christian Horner were down in Parc Fermé giving hugs out to their two drivers. And are we seeing the first of many double podiums for this team? I think it's just going to be repeat after repeat. And here's something I've seen a couple of times before. When George Russell goes and jumps through the marshal's holes in the fence in pit lane because he needs to get out to his car, he puts his phone in his mouth because he needs both hands to get through. And of course, those race suits have no pockets. Well, if you've enjoyed this video, I'm going to beg you to subscribe and like it. And if you're looking for a whole lot of extra content, here is where you go. Thanks for watching, and stay passionate. Oh, and I lost my bucket hat too.